Instructor Vexithara's forearms trembled as she watched the monitoring displays in the Galactic Academy's combat simulation chamber. The human exchange student, Sarah Chen, stood calmly in the center of the arena, completely unaware of what was about to be released upon her. The other instructors had warned Vexithara about this moment. Humans were notoriously unpredictable, but their application to the Academy had been approved based on their species' recent military victories against the Zephyrian Collective. Still, no human had ever faced the Academy's final predator evaluation, the test that separated the warriors from the prey. "Instructor," chittered her assistant Kalak, his mandibles clicking nervously. "Are you certain about this? The human shows no signs of enhanced musculature or natural armor plating. Her reaction speed registers as average at best." Vexithara's scaled hide shifted from deep purple to an anxious orange. She had observed Sarah Chen for 3 cycles now, and the human remained an enigma. During weapons training, Sarah had performed adequately, but not exceptionally. Her tactical scores were solid but unremarkable. By all measurements, she was thoroughly mediocre. Yet the human had passed every other test with an unsettling calmness that made Vexithara's spinal fins itch with unease. "The evaluation protocols are clear," Vexithara replied, though her voice wavered slightly. "Every species must face the apex challenge." The human requested no special accommodations. In the arena below, Sarah stood with her hands clasped behind her back, looking around the stark metal chamber with what appeared to be mild curiosity. She wore the standard Academy combat suit, a form-fitting garment that provided minimal protection, but maximum mobility. Her dark hair was pulled back in a simple ponytail, and she appeared to be humming something under her breath. Vexithara activated the communication system. "Student Chen, prepare yourself. The Apex Challenge will commence in 30 seconds. Sarah looked up at the observation deck and waved cheerfully. "Thanks, Instructor Vex. I'm ready whenever you are." The casual friendliness in her voice made several spectators shift uncomfortably. Most species, when facing their Apex Challenge, showed appropriate signs of stress: elevated breathing, defensive postures, heightened awareness. The humans seemed to be treating this like a pleasant afternoon stroll. Kalak leaned closer to the release controls. "Instructor, perhaps we should start with a Class 7 Predator instead of the usual Class 9. The human seems unprepared." Vexithara considered this. The standard Apex Challenge involved releasing a Vorthak, a Class 9 Predator from the death worlds of Proxima Mortis. Standing nearly 3 meters tall with razor-sharp claws, acidic saliva, and the hunting instincts that had made them the apex species on one of the galaxy's most dangerous planets, Vorthaks had never failed to provide an appropriate challenge. Most students either demonstrated their worthiness by successfully evading the creature for the required 10 minutes, or they quickly activated their emergency beacon when they realized they were outmatched. A few had even managed to subdue their Vorthak through clever tactics or superior technology. None had ever been seriously injured. The emergency systems were too good for that, but none had ever faced the challenge with such apparent nonchalance. "Protocol is protocol," Vexithara decided. "Release the Vorthak." The floor of the arena split open with a mechanical grinding sound. From the depths below, a horrifying roar echoed upward, a sound that had evolved specifically to trigger primal fear responses in most sentient species. The other students watching from the gallery instinctively stepped back from the reinforced transparasteel barriers. Sarah tilted her head slightly, as if listening to something interesting. The Vorthak emerged from the pit like a nightmare-given form. Its obsidian-black carapace gleamed under the arena lights, and its 6 eyes fixed immediately on the small human figure. Muscles bunched beneath its armored hide as it assessed its prey, and its mandibles opened to release another bone-chilling. Or Sarah Chen's face lit up with what could only be described as delight. "Oh my God," she said, her voice clearly picked up by the arena's audio systems. "Look at you. You're absolutely beautiful." The Vorthak paused mid-roar, apparently confused by this unexpected response. Its 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Sarah took a step forward, and the creature instinctively dropped into a hunting crouch. But instead of fleeing or preparing to fight, Sarah did something that made every observer in the gallery question their understanding of human psychology. She started making soft, cooing sounds. "Yes, you are. You're gorgeous. Look at those eyes. Oh, you have 6 of them, and those gorgeous claws." Sarah's voice had taken on the peculiar tone that, unknown to her alien observers, humans typically reserved for puppies and babies. "Are you a good boy? I bet you're a good boy." The Vorthak's confusion was palpable. Its head tilted at an angle that would have been comical if the creature weren't capable of tearing through battle armor with its bare claws. Vexathara stared at the displays in growing alarm. "Kalak, are the sensors malfunctioning? The humans' stress hormones are actually decreasing. Sensors are functioning normally, Instructor. Her dopamine and oxytocin levels are significantly elevated." In the arena, Sarah had somehow gotten closer to the Vorthak without triggering its attack response. She was now standing just outside its immediate strike range, still making those strange cooing sounds. "Such a handsome predator, yes you are. I bet you're the best hunter on your whole planet." Sarah reached slowly into her pocket and pulled out what appeared to be a small wrapped object. "Are you hungry, big guy? I've got some of that concentrated protein bar from lunch. It's not much, but..." She unwrapped the bar and held it out. The Vorthak stared at the offering, then at the human, then back at the protein bar. Its mandibles clicked uncertainly. "The human appears to be attempting to feed the Vorthak," Kalak observed, his voice rising an octave. Sarah took another small step forward. "It's okay, sweetheart. I know you probably don't get treats very often, do you? Being all locked up down there. That's no fun for a magnificent creature like you." She gently tossed the protein bar toward the Vorthak. It landed about a meter in front of the creature, who sniffed it cautiously before picking it up with one massive claw. "That's right. Good boy." Sarah clapped her hands together softly. "You know, you remind me of my cat back home. Mr. Whiskers has the same kind of hunting instincts, just on a smaller scale. Do you like having your head scratched? I bet you do." The Vorthak ate the protein bar in one bite, then looked at Sarah, expectantly. "Instructor," Kalak whispered, "I believe the Vorthak is enjoying this interaction." Vexathara watched in fascination and growing horror as Sarah continued her approach. The Vorthak, instead of attacking, seemed to be relaxing. Its aggressive posture softened, and it even lowered its head slightly. "There we go," Sarah murmured, now close enough to touch the creature. "You're not scary at all, are you? You're just doing your job. I respect that." She reached out slowly and, to the absolute shock of everyone watching, gently scratched behind one of the Vorthak's auditory ridges. The creature's reaction was immediate and unmistakable. It began producing a low, rumbling sound that Vexathara had never heard from a Vorthak before. It took her a moment to realize that the apex predator was purring. "Oh, you like that, don't you?" Sarah's grin was radiant. "Such a good boy. Who's the most fearsome predator in the galaxy?" "You are. Yes, you are." The Vorthak leaned into her touch, its 6 eyes half closed in apparent bliss. In the observation deck, the silence was deafening. Finally, Kalak managed to speak. "Instructor, what do we do now? The evaluation parameters don't account for this." Vexathara stared at the display showing Sarah Chen contentedly petting a creature that had terrorized countless warrior species across the galaxy. The human had not only failed to show appropriate fear, she had somehow turned the galaxy's most effective predator evaluation into what appeared to be a therapy session for the Vorthak. "Note in the human's file," Vexathara said slowly, "that species exhibits unprecedented predator bonding behavior. Recommend immediate advancement to elite tactical units." She paused, watching as Sarah produced another protein bar from her pocket, much to the Vorthak's obvious delight. "Also note," she added, "that human definition of cute requires extensive further study, for the safety of the galaxy." In the arena below, Sarah looked up at the observation deck and gave another cheerful wave, her other hand still gently scratching the head of the most feared predator in known space. "Thanks for this, Instructor Vex. He's absolutely wonderful. Can I visit him again tomorrow?"